Hola familia humanidad, hello family humanity, salut la famille de l'humanité. Today we are at NAACHTUN. We arrived here after going to La Muralla and we arrive at La Muralla from Nakbe. So if you want to see how La Muralla looks, it's a really small video because we didn't visit a lot of the site. It's really dense, so it's impossible to see the other structures, and I've been told the other structures are really small. So look at the previous video. But here now, in this moment today, we are at NAACHTUN, which is categorized as a mega city. NAACHTUN is the furthest archaeological complex found in the jungle of Guatemala. You cannot go further than that because you're getting at the border of Mexico. And after that, you'll meet CALAKMUL. So if you want to get here, you need to get to Nakbe, and then you have to do a 6-hour walk to get to NAACHTUN. So this is the deepest of the deepest jungle you can get, but it's worth it. The site is gigantic. There's so many huge pyramids that with just a little bit of imagination you can imagine the size of the city and how beautiful it would be if we could do a little bit of excavation. The name NAACHTUN came from the Yucatec Maya word for distant stone. This name was given by Sylvanus Morley when he discovered the site in 1922. He decided to give the name to keep the original Yucatec Maya connotation, but many archaeologists believe that the original name was Masuul. NAACHTUN showed development during the classical period. Some of you might know at this time that the classical period we are also talking about CALAKMUL and TIKAL. And the location of NAACHTUN is right between CALAKMUL and TIKAL. And if you know a little bit about the history of CALAKMUL and TIKAL, you know that it's not a good place to be, because those two guys were always at war. So NAACHTUN was in between completely. But that might also be why there were so many pyramids here. Maybe it was a neutral ground for the two big cities that were always at war. Some archaeologists believe so. Personally, I don't. I don't think you can say we're always at war and then we get at a certain place and we're not. Seems kind of funny. One thing that I found after analyzing the site and visiting the site is that this is the complex with the most stela that I've ever saw. And some archaeologists believe from my research that there's over 100 stela. Once you see the next video and you see the tour of this site, you will see that most of them are not in good condition, not in condition that we can read them. But still, why there were so many stela at one site? Interesting. Maybe they were telling a gigantic story between TIKAL and CALAKMUL, and CALAKMUL tried to conquer NAACHTUN, and maybe they got it at one point, and then eventually TIKAL got it. And then every time they put a new stela to tell the story. In any case, we still don't know what was the implication of NAACHTUN in that war between TIKAL and CALAKMUL. Did they play a big role, or were they just silent, trying to live in between those two crazy, gigantic superpowers of the Maya? In fact, in TIKAL, on stela number 10, we can read that NAACHTUN was conquered by TIKAL. So that's really interesting because there's two archaeologists that have a hypothesis really similar to this, meaning that CALAKMUL and TIKAL always tried to conquer NAACHTUN, which was in between. But TIKAL at one point got it. Did CALAKMUL got it at one point also? I believe so, because there's one pyramid here in NAACHTUN, which the style is so unique, and it gives me some feeling of Mexican influence. And you'll see for yourself. Just watch the next video, you'll see it. Another link with TIKAL is a stela that can be found here in NAACHTUN, that we can see on the stela the Lady of TIKAL. Personally, after my visit, I didn't saw that stela, and maybe back then they were able to read the stela, but today the condition was not good for those stela, so really hard to read. NAACHTUN has so many pyramids. Some of them have the style of TIKAL, some of them have the style of CALAKMUL. So Nikolai Krug and Simon Martin came with the hypothesis that NAACHTUN was always undisputed by those two superpowers. They both try really hard to get NAACHTUN, and it's highly probable that at some point NAACHTUN was under the control of CALAKMUL, and at some point NAACHTUN was in the control of TIKAL, which explain the different style we see here. So this is a little bit about the story of NAACHTUN, the furthest site in the jungle of Guatemala. You cannot go further than that. I went here, I came here, I am here for me to visit this, but also to share that knowledge with you guys, because I know not a lot of people would have the guts to come here, because you need to walk a shit long road. A long road. No shit here. Only jungle and nature. So thank you for listening again. I hope you are learning something about the Maya civilization. I hope you are loving a little bit more the ancient world and asking questions about how all those beautiful pyramids saw the world, and how a gigantic civilization ruled the world in ancient times. Those people in the Central America, or in Egypt, or in India, they seems to be a lot more connected to nature than we are today. So we should maybe take a couple examples from them and try to replicate. Thank you for listening, Family Humanity, La Familia Humanidad, La Famille de l'Humanité. It was your brother Wallace. I'll see you in the next video, but by the next time I produce the next video, I will be out of the jungle. So you stay blessed, you stay awesome, you stay loved, you stay pure, you stay beautiful like you are. Don't try to change yourself. Be unique, be yourself. Love you.